Hey guys, David-InvestQ here. If you own BITF stock or you don't own any shares of the company at the moment, but you're interested in making a decision as to whether or not you should put your hard-earned capital into this stock, and if you're also curious about the news in regards to rebranding or the confusion when people compare this to a ETF, I'm going to be breaking down this stock ticker specifically and whether you should be putting your hard-earned capital into it or not. Now, obviously, a disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, so please make the best decision with your hard-earned capital as to what it is you should add, with buying shares of a company or whether you should sell parts of a company in your portfolio. Make the best educated decisions and do your own due diligence. Now, you've seen the headlines, and you say BITF is rebranding and it's moving to the US, and some are talking about ETFs. But let me be crystal clear. BITF is not an ETF. ETFs and BITF, they're two completely fundamentally different things. And understanding the distinction will matter in the best decision for your portfolio. Now, in regards to rebranding, Bitfarms Ltd. to Keel Infrastructure, moving headquarters to the US, and the share exchange expected around April 1st, 2026. This causes market reaction but doesn't automatically turn BITF into an ETF. BITF is not an ETF. It's the stock ticker for Bitfarms, a Bitcoin mining company and a Bitcoin mining and infrastructure company. People confuse BITF with an ETF due to the fact that since it's not a individual crypto itself, and they mine different cryptocurrencies, they correlate it as the same thing, but they're fundamentally different. ETF pools assets and tracks financial exposure. BITF stock means you own part of a company, not a fund holding Bitcoin or crypto directly. So, again, to basically try to put into perspective, ETFs like the S&P 500 tracks all the top 500 US companies. In and of itself, BITF, if crypto goes up, it's not necessarily going to correlate the same way that if the S&P 500 go up, the top 500 companies are also going up. Bitfarm can still go down. It could be completely inverse. It doesn't have to correlate into the same direction. They can be inverse, and they can go, when Bitfarms goes down, crypto can go up as well. So you're owning the company itself. You're owning shares of the company itself. You're not tracking or exposed to crypto the same way you're exposed to the top 500 companies in the S&P 500. So again, clarification. You own a piece of a business, not an ETF. Structure that tracks the price of Bitcoin or any other asset. Now, Bitfarms is changing its name to Keel Infrastructure. Headquarters are moving to the United States, and this isn't just cosmetic. It signals a shift towards AI infrastructure along with crypto mining. This can impact regulations, tax treatment, and even how you think about risk itself. Also note that companies' financial health indicators from recent data, net liquidity reported $698 million. They plan to repay debt. The U.S. GAAP conversion and expanded New York City office. These are real figures that you as an investor should pay attention to as to whether or not you should be putting your hard-earned capital into BITF. Now, why some people are talking about ETFs is Defiance daily targets 2 times long BITF ETF tickers is a leverage ETF designed for traders to get a 2-time daily exposure to the price movements of BITF stock, not Bitcoin. This ETF is investing in Bitcoin. It's amplifying moves in BITF stock itself. That's why you need to be sure what you are buying. Does that make sense in regards to the difference in the ETF and investing into Bitfarms itself? I hope it does. Now, when you think about the risk, you really need to take into consideration the company's financial risk, operation debt mining cost, regulatory uncertainty with crypto exposure, leveraged ETFs like BTFL reset daily, not for long-term holding. Rebrands and shifts may change stock volatility. So if you're not the type of investor that we've talked about that's okay with handling the upside and downside with volatile stocks, then maybe this doesn't meet your risk parameters and you should invest into actual ETFs themselves. Now, if you're thinking about long-term crypto exposure, products like Bitcoin spot ETFs, things such as Bitwise Bitcoin ETF. That's a good ETF you can get into. Those ETFs exist in track price, but are not the same as a company stock like BITF Bitfarms. Understanding this difference could literally save you from a costly mistake, and it could save your portfolio from bleeding out. Now, or even at the very worst, it could save you from doing something like panic selling, which is the last thing that I ever will do, and I hope that none of y'all ever make that mistake with your own portfolio. If this helped you feel confident and a little more informed, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and also please feel free to check out my free community in Prophecy AI, where we do our own deep dives in InvestQ with other like-minded investors and traders. With that being said, guys, David-InvestQ out. Take it easy, guys.